Welcome to Atikin Plays Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. All right, hi, this is Atikin, and welcome to part 3 of our first playthrough of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. As the sun rises on our new republic, we've let the game, since part 2, basically what has happened is I've gone off and added another little area here with bus service over to this station, and this station has its place where should you go when you get off, or the workers are going to go to the oil refinery. So basically added a whole section of large flats over here that are going to work in the refinery, added some more down here, same thing, work in the refinery. We're now getting 200 to sometimes 300 people in the refinery at a time, running smoothly, making really good money. Let's see, last month we made 142,000 rubles. So the income is there. And while it was running, I've gone ahead and started to set up what we're going to do in this episode. In this episode, we are going to go over here and finally tap into all this oil that's been sitting out here waiting for us. So I've built this little spider network of oil rigs and pumps, and oil rigs and pumps, and pumps and oil rigs and pumps and tanks, so that we can pump oil out of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 oil rigs out here in this area near this big lake. And so what we're going to do is run them into our refinery so that we can cut way down on the amount of oil that we're importing, which should drive our trade surplus way up. So the trick is, though, if we look at our refinery setup as originally done, the end product comes out, goes through this pump, and goes either here as bitumen or over to this tank as fuel, and then this pump takes it out of those tanks and puts it into our loading station for the train to take it on to Molna for export, of course. Well, the bad news about all that is that, one, the outputs, let's look at our pipeline here. The outputs for the refinery are right here, crowded up against all of this, and the outputs for the station here are on the wrong side. So for us to get them over here where we need them, we can't build bridges, the lines can't cross each other, so we have to come up with a way to get the stuff out of here over here. And we'd like to keep this if we can. So what we're going to do here is we are going to, let's see here, we're going to take out this rail, and you'll notice I've let this run ahead some, so we've got about 1.3 million in rubles, because this is going to be an expensive proposition for us too. Now, why isn't that working? Okay, that little piece of track there, we'll let it run a little bit. As soon as this train pulls out of the station, that we'll be able to get rid of that. I don't know why the cancel doesn't seem to want to work at all. Huh. All right, so once that oil's filled up, or that train is ready to pull out and go off to Molna and export our goods, There it goes. And we're going to pause everything right there. That's a good spot. All right, so let's, does that work now? No. Huh. Okay. Need to let it go a little further. Okay. There we go. Now, what we're going to do actually is put another one of these right behind it, only this one's going to be flipped around so that the output is pointing down here down screen the way we want it. So, railway, loading and unloading, we want it to go that way. And I'm hoping it'll fit in here. Come on, fit in here. I don't know. We'll see. We may or may not be able to keep our depot. If not, we'll have to just scoot it back some. And this may or may not work. Okay. This right in here might be the problem too. So what we're going to have to do, thankfully we're on pause. We'll have to remember to replace this. This is medium power line that's going down to our lower build, our lower community there we have. So let's just get rid of some of this. Let's see if we can smooth this out a little bit. I don't want it on auto build. See if we can smooth this ground out a bit. All right, and see if we can now put it in. All right, we're going to need a little more space. Shucks. All right, this guy's got to go. Bye-bye. This guy's got to go. Okay, so we need, let's run some track back here and see if we can get things leveled up a bit. In the world. All right. A little bit of a drop off there. Maybe we need to raise this up a hair. That just, I can't understand why it can't build track right there, to be honest with you. I mean, look at that. It's not, there's not a big slope. Turn the wireframe on. Okay, this is up a little high. There we go. I'm going to build that track, and then I'm going to take that track out. I'm hoping that'll give me the right levels to be able to put in this station right here with this. There, okay. At least we got that easy piece done. All right, and let's put in, oops, our depot. And we can scoot it on back a little bit. Okay, good. Now, to make this work, we need the space to put another pump in here that's going to extract from that. So we need and let's just take a chance. Let's just see if it might fit in here. Probably won't. Are you kidding? All right, I'll tell you what we can do here. It can fit. Now, here's what would happen. If it will not fit, what we'll do is delete this tank, move it, replace it with one over here, and then reconfigure the this so that it's running in the front of this pump, and then this new tank over here would come out of that line, and then we would need to run this one so it'll come in the back, and then run one from this tank around so it comes in the side. So this can be done if we can't fit that in, but if we can fit the pump right here, we don't have to do much of anything except run our pipeline out of here and up there, which it should be no problem getting that far. So let's take out the road. And let's put in the pump, and we can we'll redo the road, whatever we have to do to make it work, or not. It doesn't even have to be there. The buses and what have you can just route slightly differently, if need be. All right, back to pipeline. No, it's not. The road's not the problem, is it? All right, so we're going to delete this guy. We will put the tank in back over here. We will reconfigure this to go in the front. And we've got power lines over here in the way. We'll have to work our way around them. Okay. it needs to be able to pump to that. And we need to build this and make sure it holds bitumen. So go. Otherwise, if we started, it's liable to put fuel in there, and then we're really toast because then we've got 2 fuel and no bitumen. And this line needs to be come out of that. Oops. Out of there and into there. That was easy enough. Is that right? No, that's wrong. Sorry. It needs to come out of there and into there. That leaves space for this one to come out, like so. Oh, I've got it up, coming out of the wrong one, sorry. We need to come out of this one. Like so. Okay, so if you can picture this, we've got the output of the refinery going to this pump. This pump sends it to the fuel tank and the bitumen tank. The fuel pump is hooked up to this pump that's going to load this up. The bitumen is hooked up to this one, which is going to load this one, and it shouldn't be running. And we need 664,000 rubles to build all of our pipes. So thank goodness we let this run for a while. So we're going to go ahead and crank up auto build and go. Build a bunch of pipes. Okay, now this should be a working system again. And we should be able to build this. And we should be able to build this. Whoops. And we should be able to build our track. And go. And let's see if this, make sure this train is loading. Yes, it is. Okay, it's getting both good, so that part is working. And this part is built. And we can put a pump that comes wireframes are awful at night, aren't they? All right, a pump comes there, goes there. We want to come out of the refinery, tight turn. It will make it. It will make it. There we go. Like so. Okay, now we have the ability to load this platform and unload from this platform. And the same stuff about this not being electrified, which I don't believe. I think that's got to be wrong. But we'll deal with that later because we're not even ready to run on any of this. We've got to go up here. We've got a lot more stuff to do. We only got $500,000, but the good news is we've already, it's hard to see at night, but we've already laid all this pipe. We've already got pipelines going all over the place up here. That's why that was so expensive. So what we need to do now is run a train line. This line over here is going to take off and run up through the border, and we're going to run a high voltage power line up through there as well to power up this area over here, because all those oil rigs, pumps, and tanks need to be powered. So let us first get rid of, let's just let us let this run till daylight. I can't stand trying to do this at night. And if we'd planned for all this ahead of time, this could be a much neater looking thing, but it works, or it will, or I have confidence it will. $217 workers, excellent, getting good production. How much money did we make last month? $141. We spent a ton this month. Go, yep. Okay, now we can see what we're doing. Let us okay. Now what we want to do is come around, go here. And head up the border. Look at dummy. He's got auto build on. Oh my. Much better when it's free. Okay, where's our tank is here. There'll be one more pump, and our station, we want our station down here in a nice flat spot. We don't want to have to mess with this hill up here to get our station in place. That looks good. All right. What's that going to cost us? $62,000. We can do that. So auto build and go. And we must have disconnected up here. It has to be disconnected or it wouldn't show no power. Okay. Better. Okay. Now we need, I almost wish I'd done this first now looking at it. We need to be able to run a high voltage line up the screen, up this way. And we put originally set this up, the transformer is very close to the transformer coming out of Molda. I would have preferred doing this again. If I ever do this again or build around Molda, I will put the power transformer back a ways just to give us some space to play with, because what we need to do now is, we'll figure it out, don't worry, but it's just going to be clumsy. We're going to put in we're going to put in a high voltage switch so that we can keep these connected and start a line up to the north. And because they're so close together, it's a little bit funky how we're going to have to do it, but we're just going to have to bring it out here, turn off auto build, bring it out here a ways and run it, and we're going to have to get rid of our main connection, so our entire system's going to lose power while we make this planned outage. And this one, we may actually have to have the lines that cross each other. Oh boy. Uh-oh. That may or may not work. Let's try this from a different angle. Isn't that fun? Look at that crisscross of wire. But you know what? It's going to work. 16,000, put that on auto build and go. And let's see if we still have power. Oh, we do not. All right. Oh. We have to build this switch. Okay, there we go. Now we got plenty of power. And the ability to run our line up through here. And the nice thing is that high voltage wire, or in fact any electrical wire, is easy to run as long as you don't try to turn too hard a corner. They can't do those right turns or the right angle turns. But other than that, they're pretty good. So I already had that on auto build, didn't I? Shoot. Okay, gotta watch that. Money's getting a little tighter. All right, so let's see what we've got. We've got. We should have this part set up to be able to unload from this station right here. And notice too, this one shows powered now. I don't know what the deal is there. Took a time to figure that out. All right, so now we can build our railroad. We can build our fuel loading station here. We want the ends on this side. Nope. If we ever end up running multiple trains, this is right up against the border, so we want it to be the outside lane, like that. Okay. All right, so we have our loading station for the oil. We have our unloading station and our modifications down here. We've got our power and our rail line set up. And we've got our spider web. Now let me talk to you about this. The way this is designed, basically, you've got these, let me find one here. You've got either 1 in, 3 out, or 3 in, 1 out pumps. So these, for the most part, these are 3 in, 1 out. And I think of them as sets of 3, although of course you deviate from it where you need to. So we've got 2 down here running to this pump. Then this one runs to another pump. The pipelines can only go so far between buildings. So basically I stretched it out as far as it would go, built something there so that we could get as long as possible. Same thing here, figured out how far out can these lines go. And you might be looking at it and saying, wait a minute, those islands weren't there. No, they weren't. I basically took figured out, I used the regular oil rig to figure out, where is the oil, and then I took the raised terrain and raised up the terrain with, let me show you, where is it? Right there, I put in another construction office because we're getting too far away from the first one. Gave it a bulldozer and 3 excavators, and lo and behold, it turns out that Russian excavators work underwater. So we raised up this land, built enough land to put an oil rig here and here, hooked it up to a pump, oil rig to a pump, pump to pump, pump to pump, oil to the pump to this pump with an oil rig going to it, and then finally to the oil tank. So that's kind of one side. And then the other side, we've got 3 rigs out here going to a pump which was defined by how far can this one stretch, then stretching out to another pump, 2 of our rigs coming into it, then it stretches out to another pump with the extra other rig out here going into it, and it empties into our tank. So everybody's emptying into that one tank, and now what we'll do is take one of these guys right here, we'll put another pump in, so it's pointing toward toward our loading station, and we will run a line from the out to the in, and from the out to the in, and now when that tank gathers up its oil, we can pump it into this station as whenever trains show up there to load. Well, I should say train. There probably will be exactly 1 train. So let's use the rule of 100,000. As long as we have 100,000 rubles to our credit, we can keep building. And we've already built all the pipeline. So let's build this out, and then we'll have to build the power for it. And I want to build it out first so that the power, we can tell where do we need the power. So I already had that one queued up to build because I was on auto build. All right, so get off auto build before you make a bad mistake. Okay. There, the whole oil system is built out except for power. Once we get power in, these things will take off humming and we'll start filling up that tank. See, we got a new vehicle. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's put a transformer right here. And then, let's see. And we'll work down both these sides. We'll try to put transformers down through like however far we need them to get all of this, and then down here. And then we'll do the same thing down this side. So the first thing, we need to make sure we're getting power up to this. So that's going to be our limit to the top of the screen. Transformer. Oh, nice. It got that extra one. That looks like it right there, and we'll run our wire down to it. Now, I don't think we got this one though, did we? No. Okay, so, but we did get this one. All right, so now we need to go down. And we're going to have to put a switch in, so let's take out that one. Put in the switch. Like so. And then put this one down. We have to get this guy right here. He's our top border. Like that's about as far as we can go. And we'll pick up this one on with this set somehow. Let's see here. Line going. Okay, and stop. Now, if we look at the one down here, let's see, is it possible? Oh, good. We can get both of those with one, I think. Oh, come on. Ooh, right there. Can't build on the water. Well, what if there wasn't water there? Well, on the other, yeah. What if there wasn't? What if we got rid of just a little bit of water? And gave you room to go. Oh, come on. All right, good deal. And we missed. See, this one is powered, yes. So we missed that one. So we're going to have to put an extra one in to get that. So what we're going to do is run our line. We're going to have to run a switch off of here. If I was going, on the other one, I'll do it what I think's a better way, which is I'll run it all the way to the last one and then do the switches off of that. But this is working just fine. Boom, and then down you go. Okay, that will give us power down here, doesn't it? Oh, we're missing one thing. We didn't build the actual box. Or the switch, Okay. So these guys are pumping, and the only one we're missing is right up here. So we can just put a switch in right there. Medium switch. Why didn't that work? Okay. That one has power. Let's look at our tank, see if this system is working. Yep, we're getting oil into our tank. Okay, we have a fully functioning oil system. And what we're going to do is let it run and gather up some oil. And we're going to save our money for a nice big train to deliver said oil. And let's see what we've got here. See what kind of costs we're looking at. We're looking at 98 and 100, 100 to let's let it get up to about let's let it run up to 300. So we have a little cushion, and then we'll start our train. Okay, we've got an oil rig on fire. There is nothing we can do about that except just demolish it and rebuild it, because there's just no way. Let's make sure this one's okay. So there's just no way to have fire coverage out here, at least not yet, and probably never will, frankly. Where were we? Oil rigs. Oh, it's nighttime. I can't see squat. I'm not sure where it was, but I know it was being powered by that, and it was in a great spot. So my guess would be it was right there. There we go. We've recovered from our fire. How are we looking up here? All right, we have maxed out. We have a full 900 tons of oil to be shipped. And after this unload, we should be okay. We should have enough margin to go ahead. We're 224. Yeah, we can start buying our train. Electric motor, cargo. I guess I could just use the rule of 100 here. I want 2 more. I want 8. I've got the math. We're auto importing 60 tons at the refinery. We're going to be carrying 480 tons down here. Now that's 540. The capacity of the refinery is only 500, but it is using the fuel as we're unloading. So we actually, in fact, it uses it quite quickly as we're unloading. So we should be able to unload all 8 tankers into the refinery, provided we don't auto import more than 60. Oh, there we go. Now we're unloading again, so that should get us up. We only need two more tankers. And did you notice that that load was almost nothing? It seems like every third, fourth, fifth load, It just takes practically nothing to mold it and then comes back. I'm not sure what to make of that. All right, go for it. 2 more tankers. And we'll set up the line. We double click on the engine and we say add a stop up here. Load until you are full. Add a stop down here and unload and go. Because now it is unloading oil into our refinery. Yes, it is. So the oil is flowing into our refinery. All right, so in this episode, what we've done is, well, I'm going to let it run for a month or so we can see what kind of profit we're making. But we should have certainly greatly increased our profit because there is an expense involved in running this. We're importing the power for it, which is something we're going to deal with fairly soon. But all this is creating the oil that we're going to now need for our refinery. It probably won't be enough to really top it out. See, look at this. We're in great shape here. We're always going to have a nice full tank, and that means this can load just as quickly as it possibly can. And get turned around and head back with more oil. We're burning through it quickly, 250 workers. So our rate of profit should go up significantly. So let's look at this. We're already making good money in June. Are we importing oil? But a lot of oil. Okay, this looks really good because we have just gotten this started. So July will tell us if we're making it. So I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to fast forward and we're going to watch this run through the month of July, and we'll get a little financial report and see how we're doing. All right, so if we take a look at what we did last month in July, our net revenue was over 300,000. And prior to making the changes that we made in this episode, we were getting about 140,000 a month. So vast improvement, definitely worth the investment. Next time we will deal with the power outage situation, the brownouts we're getting, and make sure we have sufficient power, and we'll move even more people into our refinery. And after that, I'd like you to let me know what you'd like to see us do next. Build another industry, continue to grow this one. We're just about growing this one out, not quite. But think of what you might like to see. Do we want to get into food and alcohol? Do you want to get into clothing? Do you want to go to steel mills? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But next episode will be power. So we are going to get coal and coal ore processing and power plant and hook it into our power grid and take care of that in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Workers and Resources Soviet Republic video. Thank you.